So late in 2000.
Alright, Shalom. Before I start, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakak Parash, to honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings.
2016.
And citations to Dr. Akimwa Akwath, learning and teaching truth and sincerity. Alright, and I'm going to do this video, as we get closer to the end, the cows, as you have the saying, the cows are coming home, alright, and the roosters are crowing, whatever the fuck, Basically, this is a collage, and I've seen a lot of these clips actually, but this is a collage that a brother had put together on Instagram of basically a bunch of different so-called white people admitting that the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true Israelites. Alright, so you scoffers like Vocab, what do y'all have to say about this? And we don't need them to justify us, but this goes to show you, we're blatantly at the end now, and all things are being revealed as we get to the end. Even our enemies, they're having to admit what the real deal is. Now, could some of them be Israelite foreigners? That's a possibility, but I'm not, that's not what we're here for. These are people who, so-called white-looking people who, by whatever means, and came across particular things, and they were able to come to the rational conclusion that that we fit the people described as the chosen people. So let's let it play a bit, and we'll get some scripture. Minutes, and we're gonna let the whole thing go through and just come in and out.
And I hear that the black people brought here on the slave ship. So late in 2016 is when I hear that the black people brought here on the slave ships could possibly be the same people that the whole Old Testament is written about, the Israelites. And so I started to research that.
So right there, she wasn't, for you scoffers, this wasn't something she already believed in. She was like the regular so-called Christian, probably had no idea. And she happened to hear of it, more than likely by the aggressive street preaching, which the Israelites are known for. Or she could have seen it on the internet, or she could have walked by, which is why it's needful for us to be out there preaching. And she started to do some research. And what was her logical conclusion?
And read and watch videos and read things online. And especially after reading Deuteronomy chapter 28, the first half of the chapter is the blessings that Israel will receive if they just keep the commands. That's all they had to do. And then the second half is the curses that are going to fall on them if they don't keep the commands. Please go read those. Go read those and think about what these people have been through since day one of arriving in this country as slaves. And you just make up your own mind and pray about it and see where the Father leads you on that. That's all I can say. For me, personally, this is my journey, and for me, it brought the scriptures alive to me.
Brought the scriptures alive, y'all. Why? Because it only makes sense if we're the chosen people. It only makes sense.
I believed it. These are, to me, his people that are still living this curse.
Black people over here getting killed.
Living this curse. So let's go get some scriptures real quick, right? She said it brought the Bible alive, and it makes sense. Alright, Salakia, so Deuteronomy 28:45, it says, "Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed." Which is why she said, go read the book of Deuteronomy, and look at all the things that these people have been through since they've come here. Alright, and not only America, but since way back then, alright, because there's so much more to history that we're not taught in these schools, alright. Says, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Says to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Alright, so these things that we've gone through, y'all, they bear very witness to who we are, and they validate our existence and why everything that has happened to us has happened to us, y'all. What are some, you know what I just took a look at? Let me show y'all something. Alright, so right here we have Money Yaya. This is Floyd Mayweather's daughter, y'all. This girl was literally born into wealth and into riches. But what did the scripture say our woman was going to be? It says our woman was going to be whores, right? All right. Let's look at what a girl even who was born into wealth. Let's see how she acts. So what now? What reason now? All them little hoes, just for them even knowing her, you know, she probably giving them a little bit of money just for being around her. Even though they have a little bit of money, why are we still like this? Huh? Because we're cursed, man. All right. It says that these curses would overtake us. This girl was born into wealth and she still is acting like a ghetto rat in the streets. It's fucking unexplainable. All right. Shit is a damn shame. All right. So coming back here, all right, the things that we're saying, it only makes sense. It's a sign. All right. It's a sign that we're at the bottom of society, always getting shitted on. It's a sign that our households are broken. It's a sign that we're the ones who are our skin is like brass, you know, as if it's burned in the oven, just like the Lord. How much more? What else does a nigga need to hear to get it?
28 half is have been through since day from
the countries scattered in the slave
that are still living this curse.
black people over here getting killed, the black people in other countries scattered in the slave trade. That's the real biblical Hebrew Israelite.
So as a Gentile, I'm here to profess. Black people, you are Israelites, you are the chosen ones, you are a prestigious people.
The black people, the people of color that are here, that have been brought here from Africa, their ancestors brought here from Africa, are the Hebrew Israelites. They're even in the African dictionary, African and Negro are two different things, or two different
She's talking about the Zondervan, most likely.
classifications of people.
Yeah, I remember this guy right here. This is actually one of the first. I remember this video. He had to take his glasses off. This guy right here is actually a so-called. We'll say he's an Israeli living over in the land. I remember this video hit the internet, years ago. This man is over there in Israel, a person who lives in that land. Even he knows the truth and was able to come to the logical conclusion of what? Let's hear him talk. He had to take the glasses off to let you know the seriousness of the conversation.
Blacks of America, it's you. You are the true Hebrews. You are the true Hebrews from the Bible.
I would interject that the
Video, I got that whole video saved, but if I upload it, they'll take this channel down. They hate that video being on YouTube, but it's a full 5 minutes, and he was going into a lot deeper, but that's basically the gist.
true biblical Hebrews are the so-called African American people that are scattered abroad throughout the world.
The real Jews were Hebrews, black men who used to go there.
Now, the only race of people that were brought over on ships and sold as bondmen and bondwomen, which are slaves, are the so-called African Americans.
Specifically, the people who have been sent all over the earth on slave ships, those people are superior, even in the Most High's eyes himself, because those people are the Israelites. And there's a scripture that says, not only it says if you bless them, you'll be blessed, but there's also one that says you have to cling to them or you can't even be saved.
I know the black people.
And now, I know what he's referring to. So let's get this. I believe what he's referring to, it may be this right here, because the heathens won't be saved. But what you have is the fact that in the kingdom of heaven, these heathen, they're going to be coming to us. Basically they're going to be doing everything that we tell them. They're going to be acknowledging that we're over than them, and they're going to be worshiping us. All right, and let me see. Get this word. I know what he's talking about as well. Housage, I believe. Let's see. All right, actually, he may be talking about this. This Isaiah 14:1. It says, "For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And those strangers is the Israelite foreigners. This isn't dealing with the heathen. And the simple fact is, you read the second verse. All right, it says, and the people shall take them, what people? The Israelites, and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. All right, so there's a difference. All right, there's a difference between the strangers, the Israelite foreigners that are, you know, literally Israelites coming back to their heritage, although they may look different, and then you have the heathen, all right, that that look different is going to get treated different, and they'll be slaves. All right, so let me get actually I'll get the other one he was about to mention too. Curse. Let's see. Yeah, right here. Okay, just double check. See, because now if these heathen, you know, had they had done right by us, they'd have been good. All right, no, regardless, they're going to have to be subservient to us. All right, but since these heathen have treated us so wrongly, all right, they will be punished. All right, but in general, you know, you have the scripture in Numbers. It tells you that, you know, there's no enchantment against Jacob. All right, so whatever you do to the Israelites, eventually you will get back. All right, so we'll just get out of Genesis 12:3. All right, and we didn't even exist yet, but this was the promise that we were going to be coming out of the loins of Abraham. All right, it tells you that multitude, and let me see, I'm just read this. So Genesis 12:3, and I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee, and in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. All right, so those who fuck with us, if you do wrong by us, you gonna get did wrong. If you had done good by us, you'd have got done good. So look at the world. We're at the bottom of society getting shitted on. So what are we gonna have to do? Put everybody else at the bottom. All right, and now ultimately in the kingdom, everyone will be blessed under us. All right, but that's beginning with the elect and with the nation of Israel, because we have been scattered throughout all the world, which is why if you go to Genesis 48, because it told you that we were going to become, the elder apostle Gabar just broke this down. It told you that we were going to become a multitude in this earth. All right, Genesis 48, and I'll just start right at it. 16, it says, the angel redeemed me from all evil. Bless the lads, and let my name be named on them, in the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, and let them grow into a multitude in the midst of the earth. All right, so we're scattered everywhere, which is why these heathen, they're gonna have to suffer for what they did to us, and that's why the Spirit is getting on a lot of them to declare who we are, because the ones that are actually heathen, they're trying to, you know, soften up and cushion up that ass whooping that's coming, but that's not gonna happen. They've probably been watching too much GLCC. All right, right here, because just dealing with that Isaiah 14, because that Isaiah 14:1, no heathen is going to be, they're not candidates for salvation. That strangers dealing with Israelite foreigners who lost their way. Ephesians 2:12, that at that time you were without Hamashiach, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel, and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no hope and without Yahweh in the world. All right, so we fell off because we disobeyed the commandments and the covenant. All right, so ultimately we forfeited our rights. All right, so now let's go take a look at that word strangers real quick. That word strangers is Gar H16:16. Says a sojourner, a temporary inhabitant, a newcomer lacking inherited rights, of foreigners in Israel, though conceded rights. All right, conceded rights. What did we do? We gave up our rights because of sin. All right, so those that are cleaving unto the house is dealing with Israel. All right, just backing that up and proving that. And you know, heathen sliding their way in. You know, they still try to be slick on the way in, trying to hold the door in on their way.
2016.
So let's get
Are the Hebrew different?
Old as
Are the Israelites. You'll be blessed. There's also one that says you have to cling to them or you can't even be saved.
I know the black people here are the true Hebrew Israelites. I know that.
No matter how much fact, no matter how much scripture you all are presented with regarding who the Hebrews in the Bible were and who they are in the earth today, which would be the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, the Native Americans, the Aborigines.
You so-called.
and not the Aborigines. See, Now, if she's meaning Aborigines, as in Australians, no, them just Japhites. Like I said, a lot of them may have come across GLCC, or a couple of them. You know, she had her head covered and shit. So, you know, you got to take it with a grain of salt.
Blacks, Hispanic.
The Polynesian Islanders and Aborigines of New Zealand and Australia are not Israelites, they're Japhites.
And Native Americans are the biblical Israelites.
The Hebrew Israelites, God's chosen people, are what we call African American. Okay.
You can see the sadness in some of their faces because they know their people did us wrong, y'all. So they know there's a recompense coming. You know, this is happy news for us, but this ain't so happy for them.
African American, they are God's chosen people.
The real Israelites are the black and brown people of the world. The true Jews, or your true Yehudim, are the so-called black person, or African American, as you like to call them sometimes. They're not African at all. They're the true Jews. They're the true Hebrews that were brought over here on ships, which the scriptures mention. If y'all are going to believe these lies, you're going to get misled, and that's the purpose of this. It's not about color, it's not about this and that, it's about identity theft. People's identity was stolen. They are the true Yehudim.
The black people are right in flawless. When I first came to the Torah and there was none of the black people, and I just got kind of upset finally after that, I said, it's just the white people, where do I belong?
What is another word for bondage? Slavery. So the reason that the Israelites went into slavery is because they chose not to keep the covenant that God made with them and them only.
So they call themselves Black African Americans. And really what they should be talking themselves is they are what? The Hebrews and the Jews of the original temple of the city of David. Now
saying that in church. Okay, now, you know, scoffers like vocab. This is I'm gonna assume an accredited pastor. He would have went to a seminary school like you. Why is he saying what he's saying? That must be addressed.
do you get the picture?
Do you get the picture? And the motherfuckers in that crowd don't know what's going on, but we know what's going on. That's what's important, y'all. So hey, as we get closer to the end, you know, the Lord is he's revealing, you know, he's revealing everything. Let me get this, because you know, you have the one scripture, he's making his tongue fall upon himself. But I want to get this because, see, y'all, we've been out there doing the Lord's good work. All right, so even all the cows are coming home. All right, and Esau's a cow. He's not a sheep. He's a goat. The goats is telling you one little truth before they go out. Proverbs 16:7. When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. Plain and simple. So, you know, we've been out here doing this work, you know, putting it in the minds of people, and it's coming out. So, hey, let me give all praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai B'Hashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the Akim Akwath, learning, teaching, and truth and sincerity. Say shalom.